Welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thank you for joining me. Now, I wasn't going to make a video today. I had no intention to, but I figure it's been about a week since my last video, and I guess I'll put one up. Um, Now, there's been a lot of news in the last week, and not all of it's been good. Some of it's been very interesting. First off, though, over the weekend there was an attack by Iran-backed militants via a drone attack on a U.S. base in Jordan. The attack killed 3 U.S. service members at the last check and injured over 30 of them. That number was as of a few days ago. Now, Joe Biden has said that he will hold Iran responsible for these attacks because it is their, you know, Iran-backed militants, their proxy fighters, as it were, that attacked the U.S. base in Jordan. Now, of course, people are going to say, well, that's because, the U.S. is backing Israel, and that may be true to a certain extent. But it still happened, and Iran still needs to pay for it. Now, I don't know what the response should be. I don't know what the response will be. But Joe Biden has said that it will be a strong response to what happened and took the lives of 3 U.S. service members. Now, I don't know what kind of response we should have. I don't know how strong the response should be, considering Iran is always in a part where they want to start a war with the U.S., and we're always wanting to start wars with them. So I don't know what we should do, but I do know that something has to be done in response. Um, there's that. Also, over the weekend, it came out, I guess as of last Friday, it came out that 13 members of an organization, of the UNRWA, they're an organization, a relief organization that focuses on aid to the Palestinian people in Gaza and in the West Bank, but as of late, mostly the people in Gaza. But 12 to 13 of those people were fired on Friday after evidence was shown that they had helped Hamas in a number of ways. And many have said that it appears that they were using the organization, the UNRWA, to support their activities with Hamas, as in give cover to what they were doing. Now, we don't know all the details as of yet, but as of right now, from what I have seen from several sources, it is clear that these 12 to 13 people provided substantial help to Hamas. They brought them weapons, from RPGs to other types of weapons that were used in the attack. Some of them housed some of the hostages in the hours after the attack for Hamas. And there have been talks that maybe money had been given. Now, as a result, those 13 people have been fired, and the U.S. and 9 other countries have frozen funding for this organization. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, that's just going to starve the people of Palestine. And I'm going to suppose we're going to have to find other organizations to help provide aid, because I'm fairly certain this was not the only aid organization in the area. The equivalent of the Red Cross has been helping. There are several other NGOs that are over there, that help. Now, the U.S., for its part, was the number one funder of this organization, the UNRWA. And I think it makes sense that they would want to ensure that the house is clean at the UNRWA before they resumed funding. I have read several places that it is a temporary freeze, but I don't know how long it'll last or if it will ever end. What we do know, though, is that Israel has killed over 30,000 people, 13,000 of them children, and that it must stop, that a ceasefire must happen. Now, I have my issues with the UNRWA and the fact that they were used as cover for this horrible operation that took place on October 7th. Do I believe it should shut down the entire organization? No. Do I think we should take a pause and make sure the ranks are clean and not full of people who are also sympathetic to Hamas? Because there's a big difference between being sympathetic to the cause of the Palestinian people and sympathetic to a terrorist organization such as Hamas. Now, I understand what Hamas came out of. Decades of, you know, cruel treatment of the Palestinians. I understand that. But you're not going to stop Israel from doing these cruel and insidious things they do by attacking innocent people. By attacking innocent people, innocent Israelis, innocent children. All it does is create more people to hate you. And it's the same thing with Israel. The government, the current regime in Israel and the IDF have killed over 30,000 Palestinians. 24,000 to 25,000 of them have been completely innocent civilians. Some of them have been Hamas fighters. Some of them have been other people loyal to Hamas, whatever. But a majority have been people that are completely not part of what happened on October 7th. Israel right now is driving through areas of the West Bank, destroying statues and fountains. Is that going after Hamas? Is that really, I mean, are those like, Hamas checkpoints or, some kind of weird thing? No. It has nothing to do with Hamas. They're literally trying to demoralize the people of Palestine. And they're doing this in an area that hasn't been known for recent attacks on Israel. Remember, Hamas only controls Gaza. They don't control the West Bank. And while the people in the West Bank may be sympathetic to the other Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, they're governed by an entirely different organization. Now, what I want to make very clear is that the U.S. government should not be helping Israel. If anything, we should be demanding protection against the Palestinians. We should be demanding their protection from the Israelis. And I'm not saying put U.S. boots on the ground anywhere. I don't think we should do that. But something has to be done. A UN peacekeeping force or something has got to go into this area to protect the Palestinian people. Not just from the brutal regime that is Hamas, but the genocidal regime with the Israeli government. Ceasefire now. Free Gaza. Now, for the one bit of news that I found to be very interesting this week, and it's serious, but not to the same degree. Last week, E. Jean Carroll was awarded $83.3 million by a judge and a jury for defamation by Donald J. Trump. A few years ago, of course, she accused him of sexual assault, and he denied it. Said he never knew her, never met her, never saw her before, but there's video proof that he did. And after she made her initial claim, he was, you know, taken to court for his comments and his actions, and she was awarded $5 million, with the judge stating that yes, Donald Trump did in fact sexually assault E. Jean Carroll. And after that, he kept defaming her and slandering her name, to which she took him back to court, to where that $5 million is now $83 million. Why did this happen? Because Donald Trump can't shut his mouth. He can't leave people alone. He has to keep just attacking people and lying all the way. A previous ruling said he did sexually assault the woman. He still claims he didn't. But even if you didn't, you still shouldn't keep defaming somebody after you've already been found to have, defamed them. It also doesn't show that you're innocent. By constantly attacking them as if they're worthless people, that makes people definitely think you're guilty of what you've been found guilty of doing or found to have done in a civil case. E. Jean Carroll's already said she has plans to, use some of that money for charity and stuff like that. But will she actually ever see it? And if so, who pays for it? Will it be the people that keep donating money to his campaign and to stupid things like, Donald Trump cards? Or is he going to win the election and use your taxpayer money to pay for it? What a question. But right now, let's do a rundown of the economy right now. Inflation's down. The growth of the economy was 3.4% in the last quarter of last year. Inflation, like I said, is coming down. More people are employed now than they have been in 65 years. More people, are off of welfare than they've been in decades. It's a trend that has been going for years, ever since the midway point of the Barack Obama years. It continued mostly into 2017, 2018. It started slipping off there at the end of 2019, and then of course COVID came around and completely destroyed the economy. But with the Build Back Better plan and the infrastructure plan and stuff that Joe Biden passed in 2022 with bipartisan support, both Republicans and Democrats initially supported it until it had to be forced through in the end, with just a few Republicans helping in the Senate. But it got done, and it's helping. It's working. And we are lower now on inflation than almost any other country in the modern world. Our inflation rates are coming down. Cost of groceries are coming down in some places. And depending on what you're buying and what grocery store you go to. You shop at Walmart or Aldi's, Kroger maybe, your prices are going to be coming down a little bit. If you shop at Whole Foods, your prices probably aren't going to come down. There's also been a recent study showing that 53% of all inflationary pricing has been caused by greedflation. Inflation that is not real, that is forced. It's being forced by the conglomerates that own the sources of food in this country. Because remember, most of your farms and stuff like that aren't owned by mom and pop other family farmers and stuff anymore. Most of our farms are owned by corporations now, and those people are setting the prices, not the farmers. And it's not even there again. Even the factory farmer, even the corporate farmers that are funded by the corporations, those people aren't setting the prices. But the people that buy the groceries at wholesale price, the products at wholesale prices, they're the ones jacking up the prices. Walmart, dollar store, you name it. All the grocery stores are in cahoots on this one. But a lot of things are coming down in price. People are making wages are going up. And what I think is even better is unions are finally taking their power back in this country to demand that their workers get paid a fair wage. We've seen it. We saw it with the writer's strike. We saw it with the actor's strike. And I know people are like, well, yeah, who cares? But a majority of the people in both those make pennies. They don't make a lot of money that are in those organizations. The majority of them are not your Brad Pitts or your any other famous actor or actress, right? They're just not. Then you saw it with the auto workers union. You saw it with the union for the UPS workers. You saw it, across the board has been better. And one last little bit of information that I found to be absolutely just hilarious are the right-wing nutcases losing their absolute minds over Taylor Swift dating a football player. They've been complaining that she's on TV too much. Well, it was all broken down, and the fact is, in the AFC Championship game that took place this last weekend between the Kansas City Chiefs, which her boyfriend is the tight end of, is versus the Baltimore Ravens. She was on TV for 44 seconds. It was on for over 3 hours and 8 minutes, and she was on the TV for 44 seconds. And boy, did the far right lose their minds when the Chiefs won that game, saying it's all rigged and that because Travis Kelce did something to advertise getting the vaccine for COVID, and the fact that his team won and that he's dating Taylor Swift somehow means that she and Travis Kelce and the NFL are all in cahoots to hand the election to Joe Biden. Then you have all these others that are out there saying, well, you know what? They're ruining football. The same crowd of people that said that they were going to not drink Bud Light anymore, they still are. And those people that back when Colin Kaepernick took a knee said they're not going to watch football anymore. Those are the same ones complaining. I find it hilarious, though, that one of the funniest things I see is people are trying to say that Taylor Swift is a gold digger. Let's make something clear. Taylor Swift isn't a gold digger. Taylor Swift doesn't need Travis Kelce's money. In fact, after the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift is a bona fide billionaire. Now, I'm not saying Travis Kelce is poor, but he's a millionaire. She's a billionaire. What it is the far right is scared of strong, independent thinking women. That's what they're scared of. That's why you see them trying to take away abortion access and trying to crash women's rights and stuff like that. That's why you see them doing these things. It's because they are scared of powerful, independent women. So to all the women out there, let's do something. How about we just don't? Right? How about we don't let them do this? Anyways, y'all have a great day. I'll see you down the road.